Alright, putting the Mikuni carburetor back together with a rebuild kit. You got to replace these check valves. There's a green line on here, read in a forum that the more dense green line, it's hard to see, but it says to go on towards you. But pushing these rubber gaskets through, they're a pain in the butt. You got to just slowly work them through. Maybe a little WD-40 to help them push through. On that one side, that's both sides, and then go ahead and put your rubber gasket towards the metal on this side, along with the plastic gasket, diaphragm, whatever you want to call them. Line them up. Put your fuel filter and this rubber gasket in. Put that side down. Slightly line things up. And you put your O-ring. And then, so this gasket goes against this side. So then your plastic piece, line this up. Only goes one way. You'll see a little dimple down here. And then you go ahead and put this on. And put all your bolts through and tighten it down. Okay, back on the other side of the carburetor, we're going to put our seat in, push that down, put a little WD-40 on that gasket before you push it down in, and got a little screw to hold that in. Monkey that up, so moving right along. Have the right tools handy to put everything back together correctly. And such a small screw, you might have to use like a needle nose. And that's not even working. Get in there. Sometimes a magnetic screwdriver helps. Alright, there we go. Get that pushed in. Make sure it's seated. Just one little note that I'm not changing the spring on this one. And needle, because the spring I got is a different color than the original, and depending on the spring and your needle assembly will depend your pop off. So these, I don't know for sure, but I was reading a forum that said that your pop off is pretty high on these, like 75 psi, maybe even higher. But if you go ahead and change it, you might have to change your jets. So I don't have new jets, so I'm leaving these as is. So put these back in. Correct screwdriver's handy is a good idea. Well, that's gonna make this video even longer than it has to be. Something went flying. Hopefully it wasn't a spring I needed. So this is all stock. I just put the wrong. So my bad, I put the little jet in the wrong hole, so it goes in this hole. I don't know if you can see that right there. Grab your big jet, put that in there. Everything's been cleaned out already, just kind of putting it back together, showing you assembly. And I already replaced, there's a little, it's hard to see, but there's a little piece of plastic on there. Replace that. It comes it's part of the carb kit. Put that little metal piece on. Screw that in. Careful not to strip those. This one seems like you really easily could strip that one on the, put the seat in there. I really do not want to strip that one. Now the fun part begins, trying to put all these pieces back together. I think we flew her off the shaft for this. Crying out loud. Alright, we gotta back up. Forgot to put the gasket in. So either I will just keep rolling with this, or I'll just cut and splice. Somebody may have caught that. Good job if you did. There we go. Put the gasket in. Put those down. Shaft through your little lever. Line this all up. And the spring up. Put that all in there. Grab the little screw. That down. So at this point, I should do pop off pressure before you put the rest of it on, but a little gasket here. Shoot. That does not go on that side. I missed it on. Maybe I put it on the other side. Anyway, actually, it doesn't. There's no gasket. This goes next. My bad. But so what you do is put that on, put this on, tighten it up, and then you're done. But don't forget to do your pop-off pressure. All three carburetors, if you're doing a triple, should match. So I'm going to do the pop-off pressure later on.